Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Harvest Horror Fest.
Welcome, movie nerd faithful. We have a wonderful movie to review tonight. You'll be crying like you saw some double rainbows after watching this lucky charm of a movie. Maybe not, but anyway, this is our first entry into the dark side. Matt, not a Star Wars reference, of the Film Nerds, what we like to call third annual Harvest Horror Fest. This movie is a cult classic and will be wishing for a pot of gold afterward. I am, of course, talking about Leprechaun from 1993. So things are going to be a little different on this episode. As you can hear, Mysterious Mike Talent, me. I'm doing the intro, and with me, as always, is Matt. He will be doing the rundown.
Hiya, everybody.
Yeah, but not until he gets his Lucky Charms.
Not until I get my Lucky Charms. I don't like Lucky Charms. I like the knockoff generic Fruit Loops and the Cocoa Roos. I'm a big fan of the Cocoa Roos. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've had. Are the Cocoa Roos the generic? Are those the vampire one or whatever?
No, the Cocoa Roos are the generic chocolate Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know how the hell they got called Cocoa Roos, but they did. And that's one of the cereals I like. It's delightful.
Awesome.
Oh, Mike, what episode is this?
Oh, Matt, I was about to get to that. This is episode 191, but thank you, Matt, for the reminder. And, I guess with that, Matt, why don't you give us a little bit more about the movie and give us the rundown?
Well, all right, Mike. This is great. I love this. I never get to do the rundown anymore. This is awesome. So, Leprechaun from 1993, when both of us were born, but we were quite young-ish. Yeah, youngish. I'm going with youngish. It's directed and written by Mark Jones. It stars Warwick Davis of Star Wars fame. I don't care.
I knew you were going to do that, Matt. You couldn't resist.
Hell no. He's awesome. Everybody loves Warwick. And then there's Jennifer Aniston, which I'm pretty sure this is her first movie ever. Her acting chops definitely say it was. And then,
you are correct, man.
And then Ken Oland. I'm going with Oland. Mark Holton, famous from Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. Whoa. Spoilers.
Yeah. Ooh.
And then Robert High Gorman plays Alex, the little one. So, all right, here's the synopsis according to our unofficial sponsor of the Real Film Nerds podcast, now owned by Amazon, IMDb. An evil, sadistic leprechaun goes on a killing rampage in search of his beloved pot of gold with no Lucky Charms.
Yes, that's true. No Lucky Charms. They did have permission originally, but after they saw the screening of the movie, they're like, yeah, you're not allowed to use Lucky Charms.
So clearly General Mills liked it as much as I did.
I guess that's true, Matt. I guess, Matt, since you've already started, what do you think of this movie?
Dude, it's a classic, man. It didn't age well. It's really campy. It's really sloppy. It's bad acting, bad effects. But it's 93, man. What do you expect? I mean, it's not like Terminator 2 came out and revolutionized the world in 1992 or anything. But, the budget does reflect the effects. And, the biggest question I have is how does a couple gallons of gasoline blow up an entire well? Like, not just a little bit. Like, it blew that mofo to pieces. I don't get that.
Now, there's a couple interesting things about this movie, Matt. I don't know if we should get into spoilers yet, but I definitely saw an error in the movie, and I was like,
Well,
that's weird.
I already spoiled it. The damn freaking well blew up. And who has a well in their front yard anyways?
I mean, there must be people that have it in their front yard, man, sometimes.
Well, I mean,
I don't know, dude.
Here in Prescott, a lot of places in Chino Valley have wells. They don't look like that. They're not wishing wells.
Yes, I believe you're correct, Matt. Most of the wells these days do not look like that. but it's a movie, man. You gotta suspend some disbelief. I mean, a lot of
technology
disbelief.
in wells has come a huge long way since 1993, I guess.
Yes, I think you're right, man.
Well, Mike, I will say it's fun. It's campy. It's goofy. It's ridiculous. If you haven't watched it, it's worth a watch. If you have seen it, I don't know if it's worth revisiting. That's just my opinion. I mean, maybe right now because it is October and it is horror month and it is Halloween and all that cool stuff. So it is kind of fun, but don't go out of your way. That's my suggestion.
All right, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it again. Looking back on this, Matt, I think we probably saw this together.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. I'm pretty ssure we saw it at R&M Cinema together.
Yeah, and honestly, all I could remember from this movie was there was a leprechaun. Jennifer Aniston was in it before she was anybody. And then the line, F you, Lucky Charms. That's it. That's like all I remembered from the movie. So watching it again, it was like, okay, let's see what this is about. And I didn't remember any of the things about it. So to me, it was fun. It's terrible. It's a terrible movie. But it was fun to just watch the kind of campy, the joking, and like the leprechaun is a terrible, but he's just laughing the whole time and singing like nursery rhymes. I loved it.
Well, and one of the most famous lines, the I'm the leprechaun. That's a good one too. That was in there. I don't know, man. I mean, it's a hot mess, but it was fun. I don't know. I didn't hate it. I don't know. Maybe if you haven't seen it in like 30 years like us, it would be worth it. But I don't know. You know what, Mike? I'm going to propose this right here and right now. I don't know if you're going to like this, but from here, as long as this podcast lasts, so the next 2 weeks,
well, at least through October, we got to finish Harvest Horror Fest.
Yeah, I know. We'll do this. If we continue this pod into next year, I say every year for Harvest Horror Fest, we review one Leprechaun movie until we're all done with them.
Oh, man, that's a lot of years, dude. Because what are they at, like 6?
I don't know.
There's like Leprechaun in the
5.
Hood.
Yeah.
I watched part of Leprechaun in the Hood. Things are definitely different in the Hood with the Leprechaun.
Dude, I kind of want to watch that.
I think there's Leprechaun in space.
Why wouldn't there be? I mean, there's Jason and versus Freddy in space, right?
No. There's Freddy versus Jason, and then there was Jason in space.
Oh,
it was like
I
Jason
thought they were
X in
I thought they
space or
did
something.
one between the two in space too. No,
not that I'm aware of. I did watch Jason in space. It was really bad.
I remember that was
watched
huge
it in college
too when we were kids. They were like, it's in 3D and it's going to be awesome, and it was really bad. It was really bad.
But yeah, I enjoyed this, Matt, quite a bit. Before we get too far along, Matt, I am going to ask you, what are you drinking, sir?
Well, Mike, thank you for asking. In celebration of the 3rd annual Harvest Horror Fest, I went and I bought an expensive 6-pack. For me, it's an expensive 6-pack. I picked up a little Four Peaks pumpkin porter. My first of the season.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm jealous.
It's a good beer. And, it's not my first of the season that I've drank. It's the first of the season that I've gone out and bought myself. How's that?
Nice.
All right, Mike, please tell me you're drinking something other than an IPA in celebration of Harvest Horror Fest.
I wish I could, Matt. I'm going to make sure I get one for the next one. But no, this time I'm drinking double IPA. It's my go-to pretty much. Sierra Nevada Hot Bullet. It's on sale all the time, or it's cheap for an IPA. So like, $10,000.
And what did you say in a previous podcast that made me laugh for a really long time? It explodes in your mouth?
I don't know. Yeah. Something about exploding in your mouth, or I don't know.
It's like taking a shot in the mouth.
Yeah, I think that's what it's like. It's like taking a shot of hops in the mouth.
Oh, so bad. So bad, Mike. Well, all right, listeners, for those of you who have returned to our podcast, God knows why, you know what time it is. It's time for my favorite question. Mike, how does Leprechaun from 1993 relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
All right, Matt. Good question. I was a little worried. There's not a lot of people involved with this movie. This is a pretty low budget movie. I think it was made on $1 million. Randy Westgate, who is a makeup artist for this movie, worked on The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton in 2008 as a makeup artist.
For those of you who do not know, technically, The Incredible Hulk, starring Edward Norton, Mike was double checking, is the very first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Any Marvel movies before that is technically not part of the cinematic universe. But the very first one was Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk. And then, he was very difficult to work with, which historically is true. He's an incredible actor. But they brought in Mark Ruffalo quickly after that because no one wanted to work with Edward Norton anymore.
Yep. They did, and they really glossed over that and all the stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think Marvel ever to this day has admitted it. I believe Edward Norton was the one that talked about it. Because then the Marvel Cinematic Universe started exploding thanks to Iron Man and Avengers and Thor and all that. And he's like, shit, maybe I shouldn't have been a dick. I could be making even more money being the Incredible Hulk. I thought he did a good job. But again, he's a great actor. He's just an asshole.
I don't know him personally, so I can't say that he's an asshole or not. But there have been several instances of his name being mentioned and difficult to work with also in the same breath. So that might be somewhat true.
Well, Mike, I mean, I do know him personally. We hang out every Thursday on Zoom.
Oh,
Come on.
Cool, man.
You think I know him personally? Jesus.
No, but I can't say that I know he's an asshole or not. I don't.
Hey, TMZ will not lie. They will never lie, Mike.
Right. If it bleeds, it leads, right, Matt?
Damn right. And, Edward Norton bleeds green blood like the Hulk.
Or like the Leprechaun.
Uh-oh. Mike's getting confident. He's getting segues. I love it. We're going to have you host from here on out. I'm out. I'm done.
So, Matt, speaking of green blood and the Leprechaun.
And pots of
there's
gold.
a point where the Leprechaun gets shotgunned, like quite a bit.
Yeah.
After the trap, the bear trap or whatever.
In the bushes? Yeah.
Yeah. And he's bleeding green blood. So, okay, cool. That's fine. Well, when he gets his hand chopped off.
It's red.
It's red blood. What the heck, man? Where's the consistency? I'm expecting like a Predator style. Like when it's green, it's green.
I don't know. Maybe it's because it was still alive. It was bleeding red. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's just a continuity mistake.
Well, and they never show his hand like reattaching. It just like wanders around, but he gets it back.
Yes. Yeah. No, they didn't have the budget for the attaching part.
Oh, of course not.
Matt, another question I wanted to ask you since we're on random things about the movie. What did you think about the editing style of having like the cutaways to having the little feet shuffle for the Leprechaun instead of showing him move? I thought that was odd.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, it's goofy. But, I mean, they got to do what they got to do with their budget, like the pogo stick, man. They couldn't afford to have someone actually jump on a dude with the pogo stick. Like, that was some atrocious editing right there. Really
that
bad.
was rough. That was rough to watch. I was like, I mean, I guess you get the idea. It's just like so chop cut.
Yeah,
like
it's bad. I wish they would have explained a little bit more about the original characters that you meet for like 20 seconds. And then why was the house sitting there abandoned for 10 years?
Yeah, the O'Grady character seemed awesome.
Yeah.
And you only get him for like 5 minutes.
Right. He's downing an entire bottle of Jameson. I mean, that sounds like a dude I want to party with.
Yeah, he beat up the Leprechaun and stole his pot of gold.
Right.
Let's hear that story.
And then, okay, the Leprechaun is trapped inside this wood box, but yet he's not trapped because when he hears someone else, he kicks himself out of the son of a bitch. So why was he in the box? Was it voluntary? He's like, I guess this is just my life now.
No. The guy knocked off the 4-leaf clover.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
I must have missed that.
So Grady put the 4-leaf clover on it, and then the leprechaun. No, Matt, great questions. Where did he get the 4-leaf clover? The leprechaun was like, "What the hell? How did you get a 4-leaf clover?" And then he locked him in that box.
How the hell?
But then he
was the 4-leaf
had a
clover
heart
still
attack.
existing? I mean, the son of a bitch, 10 years.
It was dried out.
Well, no shit, it was dried out after 10 years. But after that long, I mean, it would be dust. It wouldn't even be dried out.
I don't know. It depends on the climate. We were in, where were we in? North Dakota?
North Dakota, yeah. I've been to South
Looked a
Dakota.
lot like California.
And there's no mountains in South Dakota. I haven't been to North, but there's no mountains.
It looked a lot like Southern California, if you ask me.
Yeah, just a tickle, you know?
All right, Matt.
Okay, Mike.
I had a blast watching this one. I encourage our listeners to listen or to watch this movie if you get the chance. It is on HBO Max currently,
or just HBO, because I believe it's on HBO Direct. So if you don't have HBO Max, but you have HBO through like your
it's HBO Now or whatever. Is that what they call it? Or did they rename everything?
Yeah, they renamed everything and they got rid of everything. It's just Max now. They don't even have Go or any of that. But like if you have like normal television, it comes on TV on HBO.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
For those of you who can't bend to the will of the 3.2 gajillion streaming services we all have to pay for now.
Yeah. I personally love having a boondoggle of streaming services. It's great.
Dude, I literally think I pay more now for TV than I did when I had cable.
Yeah, that might be happening.
Bastards.
On a more serious note and a sad note for the real film nerds, what do you think about the Regals shutting down with the Cineworld, which owns Regal? It's the parent company. After they delayed yet another, what do they call it? Flagpole movie. The
Tentpole?
007. Tentpole. Sorry. Tentpole movie. The 007 movie.
It's the beginning of the end, Mike. This is the apocalypse. Everybody's going to start eating brains. It's going to be The Walking Dead. We're all screwed. We're all going to die.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the other theaters are going to follow the major chains. So the Cinemark and AMC. Apparently AMC, I think I also read something. They have 6 months worth of money left to run, and then they're gone.
At least they got more than me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going to happen, and it's kind of sucky because the studios did this to the theaters by being like, hey, we'll release movies if you guys open. And then they open and they're like, yeah, about that releasing movies, never mind. We're not going to do that. We'll release Tenet, and then it didn't do well, so we're not going to release anything else.
Well, Tenet wasn't the movie. I mean, Tenet was an interesting movie, but it wasn't even a typical Christopher Nolan movie. It was too out there, man. I mean, it's way out there. It's really mind thinking. I think if something like Wonder Woman or Black Widow, one of these big movies that anybody and everybody wants to go see, and it needs to be seen on a big screen, I think if we could get 2 or 3 of those, we would be okay. But they keep pushing the shit back and back and back and back and back. It's depressing, man. I don't want to see theaters go away, but I think that's what's going to happen. Mike, I don't know if you did this, but I went and watched Empire Strikes Back for the 40th anniversary, which technically was in May, but all the theaters were shut down a couple weeks ago. I went to the Friday showing. It was the latest showing we had because that's one of the things they're doing here in Prescott is Harkins. I don't know about Picture Show because I've only gone there once since everything opened back up. But Harkins is doing limited shows. So they don't have like a really late night show. Like their latest night show is 7 o'clock. Well, when you get off work at 6, that's the showing I'm going to go to, you know? So I went to Empire Strikes Back on Friday night. And I saw quite a few friends that I know that are big Star Wars fans as well. But that was literally the most packed theater I have been to in a long time, even before the pandemic. I mean, it was sold out. So
wow.
Maybe do something like that. Maybe give us Indiana Jones. Give us other huge tentpole classic films in these theaters, and just do it as a special occasion. Maybe that'll help at least infuse a little bit of money into the theater so they can keep going.
So an interesting thing, Matt. I know I didn't really grow up watching this, Matt. In fact, I don't know how I missed this movie. But also that came out in 1993 was this movie called Hocus Pocus.
Dude, how did you not see Hocus Pocus? I watched that when I was a kid multiple times. Yeah, that came out for its anniversary, didn't it?
It did. Its 25th anniversary is 2018. But I was just going to tell you that they re-released it during COVID just for this last weekend here, October. First weekend of October in the theaters, and it actually made quite a bit of money. Like, it's going to be like in the top 3.
Well, that's what happened with Empire. Empire took the box office when it was out because people wanted to see it. And I have not seen Empire Strikes Back in the theater since we saw it in 97 with the re-release. So 24 years. It was great.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I don't know what they're going to do. I know that they have crazy, stupid, cheap theater rentals right now, like $100, and they'll show like quite a few different movies. Like you said, Matt, the show times are very limited in my neck of the woods as well. They cut down show times to like 3 show times a day.
Oh, dude, that's worse. I think that's worse than here.
Yeah, usually just like 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and like a 6 or 7 o'clock, and that's it.
I don't know, Mike. Do you really think this is like the start of like a legit apocalypse kind of thing? Because I mean, everything just keeps getting worse and worse. Nothing is getting better. It's supposed to be getting better, and it's not. People are supposed to be getting jobs. And the other day, not to get political or talk about like current events, but it's kind of hard not to. I mean, the other day they announced that the airlines are going to lay off 50,000 people. That's crazy.
I don't know, Matt, what to tell you there. I don't want to get too political, but
I don't know, dude. It's scary.
Essentially, we just kicked the pandemic down the road by doing the whatever, what was it called? The CARES Act in March or April, whenever it was enacted. And we're really actually going to feel it now because all that stuff went away because we just pushed it. We just pushed everything to the right. And, they've been trying to get another act, like a stimulus thing, it's called the HEROES Act. But that hasn't gone very well. So I think we're just starting to see the repercussions of that. And, Matt, it's going to be awful. It's going to be a lot worse before it gets better. There's no way around it.
Well, one benefit of this whole thing, Mike, is when I lose my house and I lose my job again and I lose my cars, I can move in with you and we can record this podcast in person. How awesome would that be?
That is awesome. That is awesome.
See, but then I'm going to require you to have your son add a second middle name.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with that, Matt. But
I will get on the horn. I will contact the hospital where he was born, and I will have it done. I'll get a notary. We'll get it done. One of his middle names will become Matt. That's fine.
All right. Well, we'll see about all that, Matt. Anyway, it's just I don't want to bring you down or anything, listeners. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. So hopefully you can watch some of these horror movies and be like, at least I'm not getting stabbed in an alley tonight.
So talking about bringing it down, next week, Friday the 13th. Woo!
Yes. Yes. Woo!
The original Friday the 13th with the introduction of another big name actor, Mike. And who is that?
It's 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Whoa!
The guy that we can relate to everything.
Except for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I'm sure we can get there in 7 degrees.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, Kevin Bacon. Fantastic movie. I'm excited to review that one, Matt. Hopefully, I'll have another really campy intro for that one as well. Campy, yeah.
Dude, definitely make sure and write it down and read it verbatim again. It was perfect.
Hey.
It sounded so natural.
Thanks, Matt.
I'm just messing with you, Mike.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with something.
Dude, you did
We'll
well.
talk about Crystal Lake. We'll talk about the Crystal Lake and going camping, making babies and getting killed.
Clearly, you're looking forward to that one too. And next week, it's my pick, man. I like Friday the 13th. It's, if I have to say, I love horror movies. If I ever said that, I wouldn't. I don't hate them. They're not my favorite. But if I had to pick one of my top 5, Friday the 13th is up there, man. I absolutely love it. It's a really fun one.
Yeah, Friday the 13th just started. Well, okay, no, it didn't start.
It's the slasher,
continued,
man.
Yeah, it continued the great history of slasher movies because, I think, I don't know if I'm 100% right on this, Halloween is like the first slasher movie.
I think technically Halloween is the inventor of the slasher flick, but if you had to pick between the two, I would say Friday the 13th is the better, well-known, associated slasher film with bringing it into prominence, I guess you would say. Yeah. All right, Mike, you want to go first? You want me to go first? I think you should go first.
Oh, for the rating?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to give the Leprechaun, 1993, starring Warwick Davis and Jennifer Aniston. 3.5 reels. I really like this movie.
Dude, are you high? 3.5 reels?
Dude, it's fun. It's ridiculous. Matt, think about Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, I'd love that. That was a lot of fun.
So, dude, it makes no sense. There's just these clowns and they're killing people. It's awesome, but I don't know. So, to me, it's kind of along those lines. But that's just me, man.
No, dude.
I like it when we don't get along.
Killer Clowns is way better. Way better. Way better. I mean, come on. They kill people with popcorn. It's pretty amazing.
They do.
And ice cream and everything else. This dude kills you with a pot of gold and bites you, and I didn't get that. Like, why the hell is the leprechaun like biting people and eating people and shit?
I don't know. That was a little weird.
Oh, well, I'll just leave it alone. I just didn't get that. I didn't understand. He's a leprechaun. I mean, and I think the shamrock should have been like something he like used to like hurt people. Maybe he had like a gun that shot like 4-leaf clovers or something, but no, that's his weakness is the 4-leaf clover. Ooh. Scary.
I don't know, man. It's kind of a weird thing to try and make into a horror, but they did it.
That's true. They did it. I can't argue against that. They did it. They made the Leprechaun into a horror movie. Yep. So, all right, Mike, as I said a couple times now, if you've seen it, I don't know if you need to watch it again, but maybe just because it's that time of year and maybe it'll be fun, but it's dated, man. It's rough. The acting is rough. The special effects are rough. The sets are, I mean, it's a wreck of a movie. But that's what most horror movies are. So I didn't slam it too bad. I gave it a 2 out of 5 reels.
Oh, okay. All right, man. That's fine. I do enjoy it when we don't get along. This is kind of fun. I think, unfortunately, we're going to like Friday the 13th, though.
Well, yeah, I already said I like it. And I know you love all horror movies. I mean, I'm surprised you gave this one 3.5. I figured you were going to give it a 4 or a 5. I mean, I know you love all horror movies.
Well, I don't give out 4s and 5s very easily, man. Even in horror movies.
Damn, Mike. Cold. Well, let's do one more reminder that we do still have a giveaway going on if you want to enter it. For Rogue Warfare, Death of a Nation? Sounds right?
Yes.
Still got a couple codes for that. And I found out that it is not to own it. It is to rent it on Redbox Digital. So if you want a copy, hit us up. Let us know. We have a couple left. Other than that, yeah, I think I'm good, Mike. Friday the 13th next week. Woo! And it's the pod will be on the 14th, which is close to the 13th, even though it won't be a Friday.
Yeah, we were trying to get as close as we could to Friday the 13th, but anyway. Yeah, Matt, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun to record. And I will have some more colorful reading for the intro. But I thought my first intro went okay.
Dude, I thought you did well, Mike. I thought you did real well. And I think we should make it permanent. I will be the one that does the outros from now on, and I will do the rundowns forever.
Okay, all right.
No, dude, I know it's a lot of pressure for you to do this. And it doesn't come off the top of your head like it does for me. So it's all good, man. But you got 3 more to go. Yeah.
I do have 3 more to go. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do it.
It'll be fun. It'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So, all right, Mike, you got anything else?
No, Matt, I do not have anything else. I think I really should have a subscription to Shudder, but I don't have one.
Dude, honestly, I don't understand why you don't. It's only $5. It's like the cheapest of all the streaming services.
There's so many streaming services.
I know, and I pay way too much because I have a lot of them. I don't have all of them. I can't justify paying for something with the name Peacock. I can't.
I know, like Huge Cock or something, but not Peacock.
Right.
Like
not P. I mean, yeah, that's what I do out of it. So what?
20 inches around? Think about it. I don't know. Like just something big.
Jesus. Well, all right. Don't forget to check us out on the social medias, the Instagrams, the Twitters, the Snapchats. No, we don't have Snapdick. Mostly Instagram and Facebook, and join our Facebook group and all those other lovely social media things that is helping take down the universe. With that note, I don't have anything else except for hang out and check out these horror movies with us. It's a lot of fun. It's our one event we do a year next to the Poindexter Awards. So why not? It's something different. It's something interesting. It's something cool. So with that note, make sure and go out and watch all the movies.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now go out and catch a movie.
Good morning, Magic 99.1. Who's this?
A scary person? I don't know.
I thought you were going to say the Leprechaun.
The Leprechaun.
The Leprechaun.
Damn it. See, I should have caught that. Oh.
Matt Hinshaw from the Real Film Nerds podcast. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you doing this morning, Lisa?
I'm doing good. You know, I've had a rough morning, so I'm really happy to be chatting with you this morning. You're going to tell us all about the Leprechaun that you watched over the weekend. How was it? Wasn't the first time you've seen it, though, right?
No, but it is the first time I've seen it in a long time.
Okay.
And I have to say, it has not aged well.
So really, how long ago did it come out?
Came out in 1993.
And what, you didn't enjoy it as much as you did the first time you saw it?
No, it's maybe it's just I've aged more, or I noticed the horrible acting more, or I noticed the really horrible effects more. Things like that.
Gotcha. Okay, do you remember how many reels you would have given it back then?
Oh, back then?
Yeah.
Back in 93 when I was quite young, I probably would have given it like 4 or 5.
Yeah. And how many are you going to give it this morning?
This morning, I'm only going to give it 2.
That's hilarious. Well, I mean, it's got to be just lighthearted fun, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was going to say is, I give it a low score, but that's, me, because I've seen it, and I just have higher standards now. But
sure.
I'll say this. If you have not seen The Leprechaun, do yourself a favor and sit down and watch it, because it is a horror classic. It is goofy. It is silly. It is over the top. They screw things up. The acting, like Jennifer Aniston, was a horrible actress. It's almost like a rite of passage that all these big name actors all have to do at least one horror movie early on in their careers. I never knew it was like that big, but next week we're going to be doing the original Friday the 13th, and Kevin Bacon is in that, and it was his very first movie.
Gosh, that is crazy. When did that film come out?
1980.
Wow,
81, something like that. Yeah.
That is crazy. I mean, I'm sure I saw that back in 1980. I can't remember if I did or not, but I'm pretty sure I did. I think everybody did back then.
Well, I didn't see it in 1980.
No, I'm sure you didn't. You weren't probably even born in 1980, were you?
Nope, I was born in 81. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Lisa.
Well, you don't have to apologize to me. I was barely born. Well, barely, in high school. But anyway, we don't need to talk about me.
Barely in high school.
Well, that's exciting. So the what are you calling it? Month of Horrors? Is that what you're calling it?
It's our third annual Harvest Horror Fest is what we call it.
Harvest Horror Fest. Of course you are. Yeah, super fun.
So every week we are going to do a horror movie. Typically we change it up and we do like a new one with an old one. But since the theaters are pretty much dying, there's no new movies coming out.
Right.
So like the new Candyman was supposed to come out this month if everything was going to be normal.
Right.
And so that's not going to happen.
Oh, what a bummer. What a bummer. Tell me, what is your favorite all-time horror film?
If I had to pick one,
Yeah.
I really like the comedy horror films. I'm a really, really big fan of Cabin in the Woods that came out a few years back.
Okay.
It's a satire comedy, makes fun of like horror movies in a really intelligent way. That's probably my favorite.
All right, Cabin in the Woods. I would say that mine is probably The Shining. I mean, that never gets old and it's always scary.
The Shining is definitely up there for me. That is one of my favorite Stanley Kubrick films of all time.
Right.
I love that movie.
And didn't they remake it recently?
They made a sequel called Dr. Sleep.
That's
but
what it
the
was.
only time when they remade it, they did it as like a 4 or 5 part television series, and it's very different from the movie.
Yeah. You kind of have to leave something that good alone, right?
I agree. Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Awesome. All right. 2 reels for the Leprechaun, but I loved your review. You've encouraged us all to check it out if we haven't seen it, and I'm going to do it because it sounds like fun.
It's currently on HBO or HBO Max or any of that stuff. You can go watch it there, or if you have regular TV, just watch it on HBO.
Very good. Catch Matt's podcast. It's called The Real Film Nerds. Easy for me to say, Matt. The Real Film Nerds.
Okay, you're having a rough morning. I'll let it go. It's no problem.
Thank you, Maddie, for chatting with me this morning on What Station? Big test here.
It's always the one, the only, the Magic 99.1.
Whoa. Thanks, Matt.